Ducklings, welcome back everyone, welcome back to another week, another edition of the Sparkling Tuna Cup, the STC, week number 101. I'm of course just VIP with you and joined by these amazing players, by the people in chat and by my plushies as well. Welcome, one all, bienvenidos, papi, bienvenidos to another weekly dose of Tuna Cup action, exclamation mark, be in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves. The bracket is live, the bracket is stacked, and we are jumping into our first series. We're jumping into the round of 16, and spawning in the bottom hand corner of torches we have the German Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is Jumy. And spawning in the top right hand corner we have his opponente. We have his red Terran player from the land of representing the planet Heroes. It is Nicoract. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is? It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Will it go the way of the Protoss, of the Terran, of Nico, or of Jumy? Up to you to decide. Best of luck in the chat as we jump in. When it comes to the overall bracket, we'll be going over the bracket after this series. Don't you worry, we will get there. We will get there. For the time being though, welcome to Torches. Torches is a rare sight, to be honest. Torches is the second most viewed map in the map pool alongside Last Fantasy, so it is a rare sight, but we do often see all-ins. We often see aggression all-ins here. The rush distance by air is very short. The rush distance by ground also very short as well. Here it comes the SCV, here comes the eBay block from the side of Nicoract. Meanwhile, Jumy blindly opening up 2 gates. Ooh, 2-gate opener out of Jumy, eBay block out of Nicoract. There's a lot happening at once here. First things first, because of the resources spent on the eBay, we should be going for the factory after the racks, not for a CC. There we go, we are set up for said factory. On the other hand here, we are going to be blocking an expansion that was going to be delayed anyway because of the extra gateway. So Jumy is going to be pumping out additional units early on. With this, Jumy can push early on as well, and oh god, he may even set up for a 1-base all-in. The pylon has in place. This is in position here for a Stargate. We could even go for a Robo into a War Prism as well. We have options. Nicoract, what have we seen? We have not scouted the wall. The wall that is non-existent. The wall has been opened. That is a big kind of deciding factor. A big feature here of this map is mining through these middle patches, getting access to the center of the map. And what is it going to be? The Cyber Core is done. We're building up gas. Show us what you got. Stargate or Robo? Robo! We're going for the Prism. We're going for the Prism. We're going for the 1-base all-in. Jumy's going to double down. SV goes in to confirm. He sees both gateways. So Nicoract has an idea that aggression is coming. Again, there shouldn't be a second gateway this early on, so he has an idea. He also scouted, confirmed no expansion, but he didn't check the gold. He didn't check the gold wall specifically. This, even seeing the missing patches here would be a massive tell, but he's working in the dark. And Nicoract, he's working in the dark. We can see that Jumy, he's spending time here on the eBay. Nicoract sees this, so he should be feeling pretty good about this. In his mind, it'll be like, oh, he's wasting DPS on this eBay. That means that is a sign that he wants to expand. We can see that is not the case. We can see that we have another gateway, so it's going to be a 3-gate, 1-base all-in out of Jumy. With that Robo, we can get a War Prism, we can juggle and go straight into the main base. Likewise, actually going for the Immortal first, and if we pull the Voids, we can mine through these patches and push into the main. Push into the natural, push into the main base. We have an early Cyclone here. Nicoract is pumping out Mass Marine. No bunker. True, no bunker, but I believe partly because he doesn't really know what's happening. In Nicoract's mind, is it actually an all-in? Is it not? I'm sure if he was convinced that we may see a bunker or more defensive setup, regardless, he's poised here outside of the bases, but he has limited scouting. Remember, he skipped the Reaper. No Reaper scout whatsoever. Just pure Marine. More maxes on the way, getting to a 3-1 setup. And again, Nicoract, he's not checking the gold patches. If we start pulling the boys, if we start mining through these patches, he's not going to see. Assuming that we even do, because here comes that War Prism. We are not pulling any boys, so we're not going to be mining through the patches, but regardless, here it comes. He can force field. No, he can force field the ramp. Oh no. Not like this. Okay, well, I mean, there's multiple entrances, but with sentries here, I mean, he can try to plug up that ramp and take over the main. Yep, speaking of, sentry has loaded up. We're headed for the main base. Here comes the unload. And here comes the force field. There it is. Does force field the ramp. The Cyclone cannot enter. The Marines can, but the Cyclones are locked out. And Cyclones are locked out. Warp in is going to complete. A tank has arrived. True. Tank is here. The tank is here. Cyclone's moving in. With the help of that tank, we can hold on. Okay, the Immortal. Ooh, does break the lock-on. Okay, lock-on is broken. Zelsa get on top of the tanks. And alas, the boys are being pulled, but too late. So too little too late here. Marines go down. Tank is going to go down as well. There's one Cyclone remaining. Does lock onto the Stalker. Stalker is saved. Nice juggling here out of Jumy. And GG. GG gets called. Jumy pops up with a 1 base all in. And Jumy takes game number 1. Whew. GG, well played. Jumy does take a lead in the series, a very intense game 1. Again, Nicoract unfortunately had incomplete information. He did not see that the patches were missing at that wall-off location, at the wall-off entering the center of the map. This is a big feature of torches, and this is one of the things that you have to bear in mind that is unique about this map, more so than the others, is that area in between the bases, is that area past the wall of minerals. It is so crucial to scout if you feel like something is wrong. If you feel like something is wrong, something isn't quite right, so important, just check that wall to see if the patches were mined, and if they were, that is a sign to investigate even further. With that, alas, Nicoract, he didn't know what was going on. For all he knew, there could have been an expansion on the way. There could have been a proxy Stargate, proxy Robo, proxy gateways. The Ole could have been coming towards his natural, from the wall-off area, from that gold mineral wall even as well. So unfortunately was just caught out of position, and with that, GG. But now we're getting into game 2, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the German Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is Jumy. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the blue Terran player, the blue Terran for the Platinum Heroes. It is Nicoract. Go. Ooh, once again, we do have the SCV being sent across the map, and we'll see if we do once again attempt to block. Now the Rax is going to be at home, and we'll keep an eye on the gateway count once again from Jumy. Remember, Jumy last game did open up 2 gates, and then went into something more sinister from there. Here we're looking at Persephone. Persephone likewise has a short rush distance by air. True. Hello, Nicoract. So keeping the SCV at bay before going in for that block. Once again, 2 games in a row, going for the eBay. But shorter rush distance by air, we do have, of course, the gold base, we have the healing pad. These can factor in. The healing pad, I feel like especially can be quite useful to Protoss players, just because they typically have no way to heal up any kind of hull damage to their units. Shields, yes, but hull damage is another thing entirely, and the healing pad does allow you to actually make use of that, bolster your army, and top it up. That could come into play. SCV going to be forced out, but the eBay has plenty of progression, and Jumy, once again, 2-gate opener. Okay, once again, 2-gate opener out of Jumy. Jumy, this time he does scout this earlier on, but you can see that Jumy is making the Zealot. So this Zealot first tells us that most likely he intends on focusing down the eBay, and in fact, going for a later expansion. He's not going for the unnatural. Natural is not expanding at the 3rd base location, which is another option. Again, there's just so much progression on this eBay. I would say it would be advised to expand elsewhere, but Jumy, he refuses. Does refuse to expand elsewhere. We'll focus on that eBay. Behind this, we have Stalkers on the way. Again, because of the 2-gate opener, it means that we're going to have more Stalkers faster, which means Jumy can counterattack. Apply pressure, and maybe find some damage. Already damage is being done. Nicoract taking his vision, taking his scouting. He does confirm the 2-gate opener, so he knows to get ready in the main, right? If he didn't scout the main base, if he wasn't aware of what was going on, he could freely expand on the low ground, but because of the 2-gate opener, because of this army, which he knows exists, he has to be ready in the main base instead. He has to be safe. Has to be secure. Expansion is on the way. This time, no 1 base all in. Still aggressive, still pressure, but not an all in. As Jumy does move out, looks across the map. Nicoract back at home is getting ready. Cyclone is on the way, and with the arrival of the Cyclone, it should be okay. Until that arrives, the Marines are a little bit vulnerable, but you can see here Jumy, he knows his timings, he backs up. He does not want to get caught out by that Cyclone. As Nicoract does pull away. Would you have the Twilight Council follow-up, getting into Blink? I would imagine. Again, depending on how aggressive you believe your opponent's going to be, you can either go into Blink, you can go into Charge. Blink is going to be the one. Blink is going to be the upgrade of choice. So So standard follow-up here. We have 2-gate blink. From here we can go for a 3rd gateway. We can go for a robo on 2 bases and stay on 2 bases a little bit longer. Nicoract, he does go for a 2nd and 3rd racks before starport. If you remember, he went for something very similar last game as well. This is very aggressive. I will say that this kind of style has fallen out of favor and fallen out of fashion and fallen out of the meta. It is so much more common to go for a faster starport, to get into Raven harass, drop play, Banshee harass as well. Even that can lead into all-ins. So it's quite rare to see this instead, to delay the starport quite heavily and delay your medevac and delay your Banshee and delay your air support. Typically, because we're going for an all-in, because you're delaying all that air support, because you're delaying your starport for so long, you're going to be prioritizing stim, prioritizing marine production, and hitting a really strong early stim timing as well. As we're already pulling the boys. Okay, we're going for a bit of an earlier push instead. Nicoract is moving out. We have a proxy gateway across the map. We have how many at home? We have 2. So 2 gateways at home, 1 across the map, 3 gate blink in total. You can see Jumy making use of that healing pad, but one of the stalkers is not going to get caught out. Whew, barely not. Once again, nice move at Jumy, making use of that ramp. Picks away at a couple of SCVs. Yeah, a couple of workers are going down. This was quite committed here from Nicoract. Was quite committed, and now he has to back up. He bled out what? He bled out 3 SCVs and a Cyclone. Nice tank volley. Very nice. Punishing Jumy. Blink is now complete. And once again, Nicoract, he sieges up. He's going to push forward and ideally bait the army into tank range. Hallucination does confirm. Yeah, he sees the tanks, he backs up. Jumy backs up. Doesn't want to get caught out. Here we go. Extra boys are being pulled. We're coming to the all-in. Stim is almost done. Stim will finish up by the time this army gets across the map. And Nicoract is going to try to skirt around the edge. He's avoiding these stalkers. Again, if you push through the center, he will lose SCVs and Marines. He'd lose units to this army, but Jumy, not quite in position. We can see Nicoract slipping by. Some of the reinforcements get caught. Yet Jumy, he responds. He's like, hold up. Why are the Marines rallying in this area? He's checking. It comes in from behind. Picks off, oh, almost a Marauder. Almost. Nicoract, he did make his way mostly across the map. He's just outside, just at the 3rd. So again, really nice movement here out of Nicoract. Jumy peeking away at the Marines. There's Stim. Stim is done. Force fields, they will catch a couple of Marines. I have a tank taking the siege. Oh my god. Yeah, massive tank shots going up. That's not, okay, not quite. But we have an exposed pylon. Thankfully, there are backup pylons behind this. Tanks are on siege for a moment. Yeah, tanks are on siege. Boys are being pulled. Jumy, he does dive in. Yeah, he's setting up for the surround, and Jumy, he will clean this up. Oh, will he, though? There are a lot of Marines left. There are a lot of Marines left over. And Jumy, he will get the final tank. Oh my god, just barely. Just barely gets one more tank. He's down to 2 stalkers. Shield obviously out of energy. Yeah, there's 2 stalkers left. Oh my god, Marines are start stepping in. Another tank has arrived. Gets another stalker. I wouldn't be opposed to pulling the boys here just to get into that final tank. Again, there's barely an army, 2 stalkers and a zealot. A very close defense here, but Nicoract behind this, he's still pushing through. The tank does siege, and Nicoract, it looks like he has broken through. Takes down the shield battery. Takes down the battery, does focus on one of the stalkers. It's still very close, very clutch. There's one. Oh god. More Marauders to arrive. Another tank is coming in. That's another big power spike here for Nicoract. And again, the economies are very close to each other. Nicoract, he has mules, of course, and he's muling his heart out. He's going to pull back. He's going to consolidate his army. Remember, he was doing this all-in without any medevacs, without any starport support. So every stim does hurt, but hey, you can make use of that healing pad. Speaking of Jumy, he bypasses the main army, trying to catch reinforcements. Barely does miss the reinforcements, though. Getting healed up. Coming in from behind. Can he get on top of the tanks? That's what's important here. Yeah, he will. He can and he will. The first tank should go down. He's going to get one. Can he get the other? Oh my god. Barely can. Takes down both tanks. Really nice movement out of Jumy. Nicoract is going to kite back. Down to just a bio composition. Again, there's only the one shield battery. Another tank is coming in. Jumy taking the gold. Bold, very bold move. Bold move out of Jumy. Behind this, there was a dark shrine. DTs are coming. Oh my god. No, we've been muling. I mean, I don't blame Nicoract. He's been muling the entire time. DTs, Invisible Man does come in. I didn't even notice. And with that, 12 SCV kills. Nicoract, he brings everything back home. There's a first scan. He gets one DT. The other can't just walk out of scan range. Oof. Yeah, it does walk out. We're waiting for another scan, and we will soon have... Well, there it is. Second scan is spent, but that was 13 SCVs. And what's important here isn't just the economic damage, it's the fact that the army raced back home, and Jumy has the gold. Jumy, he's about to get the gold base up and running. Ay, ay, ay. Nicoract, he was so close to breaking Jumy. So close. Jumy had some really nice engagements, some really nice surrounds. Some nice unit control. From here, he's topping up his army at the healing pad. More gates are on the way. There's a recall here to expand. To get the gold up and running. And now Jumy can afford all the zealots. Oh boy. Now, the problem here is that, again, Nicoract, he's been all in the entire time. There is no third CC, and most likely he's going to get up and get ready and gear up for another all-in. But the longer this game goes on, the better it is for Jumy. So Nicoract is on the timer. He's on the timer here. He doesn't know it. He has not checked for the gold. Not yet. We'll see if he gets an inkling. We'll see if he gets a sign.
Our SCVs are under attack.
At the same time, so Ramai does run into reinforcements. Nicoract moving in. Remember, there's no splash damage. Jumy's got a healthy immortal count, but where's the buffer? He needs more support here. Pulling back, warping in more zealots. Up, collapsing of the army. Does charge in. Yeah, tanks are getting caught on siege. And they're getting caught out. Brutal pickoffs here, getting one, getting a second tank as well. Ay, ay, ay. We got warpins coming in from behind. And now she should recognize. Hold up, the army coming from a really odd direction there, from a really odd angle. But at this point, it might just be too late. Oh, so many volleys here with the Archon. So many volleys going up. Ooh, takes out the medevac. Nicoract, he barely gets the hell out of there. And this is what I was worried about here. Nicoract, he has no longevity in this game. He has no third CC. And with a gold base, Jumy, he's going to be thriving. Again, he's just waiting for extra reinforcements. Back at home, no bunker, no tank, no defensive setup. Jumy, he can and he will commit. GG gets called, and Jumy, he will overwhelm and take the series 2-0, advancing on to the next round. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to Jumy as he does claim the series. Again, a very intense game here. Nicoract, he almost broke his opponent. Almost. He was pushing into the natural. He was taking down the pylons. He was able to focus down the stalkers quite nicely as well. But there were a couple of key moments where Jumy was able to come in from behind, come in for a surround, catch reinforcements, catch the tanks. The DTs was a killer move as well. Very, very clutch there. He was barely able to wait enough time for the DTs, and the DTs did so much. It dragged the army back home, it killed SCVs, it denied mules, of course, and it also allowed Jumy to claim the gold base. Whew, GG, well played. And with that, Jumy, he will claim the series. And with that, we have some catching up to do. Exclamation mark, be in the chat to have a look back yourselves. Let us switch our scenes over and catch up on the brackets. Meanwhile, shout out to all those in the chat. I saw Jumy lurking earlier. I saw Leon as well, alive in the wired. Easy Phil, Erebus as well. I saw Este, Mark Slappy, Este Uwu Thermal. Good to see you. Good morning. Good morning. I know it's gonna be a busy day. So, good morning, Papi, as always. Likewise, I stand as well. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo están? ¿Cómo están? Sip Ship as well. Bienvenidos.